Vishishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kata Mahyam Tadanti Swapatangitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishada Vinasha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namosri Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Shri Radhu Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudevi Pranamami Haripriya Nyancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripasindhave Evacha Padipana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachayani Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravattarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We'll start with 31st sloka. Sarva Bhuta Sthitam Yo Mam Bhajati Ekatvam Sarvada Vartamano Api Sayogi Mai Vartate. The yogi who knows that I and the Supersoul within all creatures are one, worship me and remains always in me in all circumstances. So how does a yogi see everyone? As part and parcel of the Lord, as Supersoul. So what is this particular thing known as? What is the term you use for someone who sees Supersoul in everyone's heart? Yes? Who is that? Who is that person who can see according to Bhagavad Gita?
Pandita.
Yeah, Pandita, Samadarshina. Good. So that's a Pandita. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Kavi Hastini Shuni Cheva Supakicha Pandita Samadarshina. Real Pandit, or in the sense someone who's having real knowledge, who sees Supersoul in everyone's heart. And the Supersoul is of the Lord in everyone's heart, and they see everyone as part and parcel of the Lord. So one sees within himself the planetary portion of Krishna as Vishnu with the four-handed holding conch shells, wheel club, and lotus flower. And yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna, who is present as Supersoul in everyone's heart. So put in the chat which Vishnu is the Supersoul in our heart. There are 3 Vishnus now. Which one is the Supersoul? Yes. Many are giving many answers. I think you're not clear about this part. Who is Garbhodakshay Vishnu? Who's Karanadakshay Vishnu? All this is getting confused. You're all Bhakti Shastri students. Don't get confused. Karana. Karana means the cause. Cause for creation. He creates. From his pose, all the universes are created. Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Garbha means abdomen. Garbha. From whose navel the lotus beam and all the planetary system is there. How can he become Supersoul? So I got many answers. And Penaja Mataji, Karanadakshay Vishnu is only Mahavishnu. Okay, can someone Prabhu, can you confirm it? You can see it clearly. The chart. Follow the chart. Ganesh and Prabhu. Hare Krishna. No? I'm not hearing anything. Can you see the Goloka chart? Can someone unmute and say?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, so here, see this. Let me go to Karanadakshay Vishnu. See, this is Karanadakshay Vishnu, who is lying in the Karanada ocean. And you can see from his pose, all these different universes are coming. He is only Mahavishnu, the Karanadakshay Vishnu. Karana means cause. Sarva Karana Karanam, right? Sarva Karana means cause. That's easy to remember. Don't get confused. Karana means cause. He is the cause of all creation. What is the difference between Karanadakshay Vishnu? Can you make out? the Garbhodsai Shri Vishnu. What is it different? Yes. In the form, not in the function, in the form.
He is not associated with Lakshmi and Ananta Shesha Prabhu. Mataji.
That's what. So you can see, no, there's no Lakshmi and Ananta Shesh. So it's very easy to understand. Karano Dakashai Vishnu, who lies on the Karana ocean or the causal ocean, and then he's the cause of all creation. You can see different universes have been created from his pose. And Garbho Dakashai Vishnu, Garbha means from whose navel, Garbho Dakashai Vishnu, who lies in the Garbho Dakashai ocean. So Garbha. Garbho Dakashai means here. See, you can from his navel, Garbho Daka ocean, and the Garbho Dakashai Vishnu. You can see Ananta Shesh and Lakshmi Devi. And from his navel, the lotus stem, and on top of the lotus stem is lotus, and there's Brahma. And the 14 planetary system. Bhur is earth, Bhuvar, Swar, Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok. And you have the hellish planet Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Tala, Mahatala, Rastala, Mahatala. So these, the Karnataka Vishnu creates the different universes. So you can see all these golden ones. So one of this is our universe. This whole thing you can see in form of what is the shape of the universe? In what shape is our universe? Are you all sleeping?
In egg shape.
Huh?
Egg shape.
Egg shape.
Egg shape.
Andandarasta paramana chayandarasta anda. It's in form of a shape, egg, right? Egg shape. So when you slice the eggs, you can see different planetary system. You can see. So you won't get confused now. Who is Garbhodakshay Vishnu? Garbhodakshay Vishnu is the one who is lying on Garbhodakshay ocean, from whose navel the different planetary systems arise. So, okay. So Karnataka Vishnu creates different universes. He's the cause of creation. And one of the universe, the Lord enters inside the universe and creates a 14 planetary system. And Kshirodakshay Vishnu is the Paramatma. You can see here, Kshirodakshay Vishnu is lying as the Paramatma in everyone's heart. So that's what you can see. Kshirodakshay Vishnu as Paramatma, super soul, is situated in everyone's heart and even within every atom. Andandarasta Paramana Chayandarasta. Right? He is there in every atom. So he is that's the Paramatma. So you won't get confused, right? These three. It's very important to know that Karnataka Vishnu is for the creation. And how actually some text says that during inhalation, Krishna annihilates, and exhalation, he creates. And also some it says in Yoga Nidra, Krishna glance, and there is creation through the sweat pose, and creation happens. Whatever it is, because Krishna's all the senses are transcendental. Angani asti sagale everything, so it doesn't matter. But then creation. Now the creation has been happening. So even in Yoga Nidra, Krishna can glance and do the creation. So you got the, don't get confused, okay, between the three Vishnus. So Karnataka Vishnu is also called Mahavishnu. If you go to the side of the chart, you know that the expansion of Krishna has been clearly given here. This I think I have already shared. This is Swayam Rupa Krishna Bhagavan, and then his expansion. You can see Balram as a first expansion. Then you have the first Chaturvyuha. Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Sankarshana, and Pratyumna. This is the first expansion. Okay. What is the difference of all of them? Like, how do you know it's Aniruddha? How do you know it's Pradyumna? And one devotee said, just ask them. Just ask them what is their name and they will say. No, but how do you really understand who's Pradyumna, who's Aniruddha? Everyone looks same, na? With 4 hands. Yes, how do you think? Just see the picture, you'll know. It's not so clear, but then still. Just see the picture. How do you understand which is Vasudeva, which is Sankarshana, which is Aniruddha? Jyot Lakshmi Mataji is code. Can you unmute and say, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. It is by the different positions of how they hold the club, conch shell, and
yes, very good.
And lotus.
So how they hold it. Now you see, think that's first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, your first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. By the way, if you're planning to take initiation, then it's better you start reading the first canto. You should finish first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam when you take initiation. So you can see the first canto of Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. You can see different Prabhupada has given all these different pictures. And this is actually Aniruddha, Pratyumna, and all that, all of them. different, so many universes are there, right? So many. So based on how they hold the club and disc, you can see here the left hand is chakra, here in the right hand is club, and then right hand is lotus. So based on how they hold the Shanga Chakra Gada Padma, based on that, the different names are given. And then from Sankarshna is our Narayan, and the second Chaturyuga, where Vasudeva Mahasankarshna, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And from Mahasankarshna comes the Swayam, this one, the Purushavatars. Purushavatars are Karnakshay Vishnu, who's actually cause for the material creation. You can see the picture here for creation. And Garbhodakshay Vishnu, from which all the universes, the planetary system comes. And the Kshirodakshay Vishnu is a Paramatma, accompanying each individual soul as Paramatma. And it's actually Kshirodakshay Vishnu who further divides into all the avatars. You can see Leela Avatar, Guna Avatar, Shakti Avatar, Yuga Avatar, Manvantara Avatar. That's why they say the avatars are coming from Vishnu. They don't understand from top who's coming. That's Krishna. From Krishna, everything is coming. Keshavadrida Buddha Sharira and all, no? But then because it's Vishnu, Kshirodaya Vishnu who's coming as different avatar, they get confused. Hope this is clear. Can someone share this Goloka chart in the WhatsApp group? Ganesha Prabhu, Ganeshri Mataji, someone has a nice PDF.
Sure, Mataji,
copy.
I'll share it.
Yeah, the PDF copy, okay, so that it's easy for them to enlarge and see. Okay, now you don't get confused. Who is the Paramatma? Kshirodaya Vishnu. And Garadharshaya Vishnu is the cause for creation, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from whose navel all the 14 planetary system comes. So don't get confused among these three. Once I was taking children's class, kids class, I said there are 3 Vishnus. And one girl, she cried and she didn't have dinner. And her mother called me and it's like, Mataji, why did you say this 3 Vishnus? Till now, she have always thought there's only 1 Vishnu and you're saying 3 Vishnus. I mean, that's a fact. What should I do? Then I like, kids can't take it now. Okay, so, but then we know. Okay, so there is no difference between the innumerable super souls present in innumerable hearts of the living entities. There's no difference between a Krishna conscious person engaged in the transcendental service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation on the super soul. Right? But better than that, Krishna says, Yoginam avi sarvesham adgade nandaratnam shraddhavan bhajade yoma sameyukta tamamada. As we go to the last slok of this chapter, Krishna says, all yogis are the same, but Yoginam avi sarvesham adgade nandaratnam shraddhavan bhajade yoma. You do devotional service. That is the perfect yogi or bhakti yogi. Yogi in Krishna consciousness, even though he may be engaged in various activities in the material world, remains always situated in Krishna. Okay, externally you look like a karmi, but then internally you are actually fixed in Krishna consciousness. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also Prabhupada quotes in the purport, Iha yasya haredasye karmana manasa gira niklaswa api avastashu jivan mukta sa uchyate. A devotee of the Lord always acts in Krishna consciousness and is automatically liberated. Automatically. They're in the process. Right? Liberation is a byproduct of bhakti. So if you always act in Krishna consciousness, you're automatically liberated. Liberation doesn't mean just after death, birth, death, old age. After birth, death, there is no Purarjanma. Liberation also means in this material body itself, you can become liberated. You're not affected by material things. So please note, the attendance form will be posted only once. So please do fill it. Dikkaladi anavachinne Krishne chedo vidayacha tanmayo bhavadikshipram jivo brahmani yojayet. Narad Pancharatra says, by concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who's all-pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then retains the happy state of transcendental association with him. So how does Krishna reveals to you? Like, what are there are 3 different stages of understanding the absolute truth. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. In Bhagavan, there are 4 stages. What are they? First is Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Okay. Now, once you reach Bhagavan, can you raise your digital hand? In Bhagavan itself, there are 4 stages. Does anyone know? The 4, how do I put it? I mean, when you start doing devotional service, there are 4 levels of understanding the Lord, or 4 ways of realization. No idea? In the Bhagavan, can you directly understand the form? Here it says on the transcendental form of Krishna. Directly, yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nama Rupa Guna Leela.
Yeah, Hari Bol. I was exactly waiting for that. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. First is the name. And I think you didn't get the question. First is the name of the Lord. Okay. First you're starting chanting Hare Krishna. When you're new to Krishna consciousness, what do they tell you? They tell to chant. So first is the name. You concentrate on the name. The name becomes clear to you. Then Rupa, the form of the Lord, the 200 Shamsundar form. Then the qualities of the Lord. Oh, he is like that. He's the cause of all cause. Yeah, he's the Shadaishwarya, Aishwarya, Savirya, Yashasya, all knowledge, all wealth, all that. Then the pastime. So last is the pastime of the Lord. So Nama Rupa Guna Leela. That's our sloka. Ata Shri Krishna Nama Dina Bhaved Grahyam Indriyam Sevan Mukhehi Jihvatu Swayam Eva Swaratyada. Ata Shri Krishna Nama Adi. Means you won't be able to understand Krishna's name, etc. Etc. means Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Name, form, qualities and pastimes with this blunt senses. Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriya. Because Indriyas are defective and it's material. Then what should we do? Sevan Mukhehi Jihvatu. We have to start devotional service with our tongue. And then Swayam Eva Swaratyada. Krishna starts revealing to you. So the transcendental form, you should not artificially think about the pastimes. One devotee was saying that when she chant or something, all the pastimes comes. But then artificially are you trying to see the pastime? That's not good. Kishora Babaji says you should not artificially see the pastime. Naturally, when Rupa Goswami was meditating, the pastime comes. That's for pure devotees, right? Either you're advancing or you're artificially thinking of the pastime. Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of trance in yoga practice. Understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart and Vishnu is not different from Krishna make the yogi faultless. It's not different. Only thing is, what is the difference? What is the difference between Vishnu and Krishna? Is there any difference? It's almost same, but then still there's some difference, no?
4 unique qualities Krishna has. Krishna has 4 unique qualities.
Yeah, extra. So 64 qualities and 60 for Vishnu. So can you tell that 4 qualities, Mataji? What are they?
Yeah, the Leela, Rupa, this Venu Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Prema Madhurya, and
yeah, Venu Madhurya, that's a flute. Then Rupa, yes, the threefold pendant form. Then Mataji, what did you say?
Leela Madhurya.
Leela, the different pastimes, yes. And there's one more Bhakta Madhuri, like Bhakta Prema Madhuri. So that means the relationship of Krishna with the devotees. So yes, that makes the difference between Krishna and Vishnu. What else? Adish Prabhu, you know something? Is there any other difference? Yes, Prabhu? Yes, that's Mataji said, 64 qualities for Krishna, 60 for Vishnu. Then the 4 extras for Krishna. Then there's only that. What's the bhav with which we worship them?
Mataji, Vishnu is worshipped in Aishwarya Bhav and Krishna is worshipped in Madhurya Bhav.
Yes, so that's another difference. There's love, and not only Madhurya, Krishna is worshipped in Sakya, Valsalya, and Madhurya.
Yeah, all the rasas, Sakya.
Yes, so Sakya, Valsalya, and Madhurya is not seen in Vishnu's pastimes. So for Vishnu, it's raw and reverence. So it will be Shanta and Dasya. But then only in Goloka, you can see these 3 rasas. That is another rasa difference. Otherwise, they are the one and same. I gave the example of her dad at office and at home. That's the difference. So Srila Prabhupada quotes from Gopal Kapani Upanishad. He says, Eko api asan bahuda yo vabhadi. Meaning, although the Lord is one, he is present in innumerable hearts as many. This confirms the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Can someone give another example where you can see the inconceivable potency of the Lord? Krishna is there in many, many forms. Any example? Narad Muni going to Dwaraka, or when Mother Kunti prayed to Krishna, what happened?
He expanded himself into 16,108 forms, Mataji.
Forms. So when Narad Muni went to Dwaraka, what happened? He was searching for Krishna, and there were 16,108 palaces, the queens in Dwaraka, and Narad Muni saw Krishna in every palace. In one palace, he was with Satyabhama, second palace with Jambavati, with third with Rukmini, all his wives in different forms. And Hanuman is like, is there 16,108 Krishnas? But then he expanded. He's also in Goloka. He says, Vrindavanam paritejya padamekam nagacchati. He never leaves Vrindavan. So he's there in Vrindavan. He's there in Dwaraka. In 16,108 palaces, he's there. He's there in Goloka. Is he not there in the atoms? In every atom. Is he not there in our heart as Paramatma? So what is this called? Inconceivable. We can't conceive it. It's achintya. It's above our imagination, right? What about Mata Kunti? When Mata Kunti was praying to Krishna, what happened? At the end, someone also came running to pray to Krishna.
Uttara Mataji.
Very good, Uttara. So at that same time, what happened?
Krishna became, he took the size of a thumb, Mataji, and
entered into Uttara's womb. But at the same time, Krishna was present in front of Kunti Maharani also. How did that happen? Kunti Maharani was saying her prayers, and Krishna was reciprocating with a smile. At the same time, Uttara came running because Ashwatthama's Brahmastra was about to kill her son in the womb, Parikshit Maharaj. And then she came and took shelter of Krishna. Krishna, pahi pahi mahayogin devadeva jagatpade nanyatod abhayam pashet yatra mrityu parasparam. Krishna, I don't have any other shelter. It's only you who's going to protect my baby. So please help me. And then when she prayed, Krishna was standing in front of Kunti Maharani, but at the same time he expanded and he took the shape of a thumb and entered Parikshit Maharaj, Uttara's womb to give darshan to Parikshit Maharaj. Madhu Mataji, that's a nice example. Expanding to cowherd boys and calves. Which was the incident? What is that Leela called as, Madhu Mataji?
Brahma Vimohan Leela.
Yeah, Brahma Vimohan Leela. So when Brahma stole Krishna's calves and boyfriends, for 1 year, Krishna expanded to become the calves and friends, right, in Vrindavan. And nobody could find out, except who found out? Yes, Mataji. Balram. Yeah, Balram found out. What did happen? So Balram saw almost 1 year this drama was going on, and after 1 year, towards the end of 1 year, Balram is like, what is happening? Even bigger, only the calves drink the milk of the cow, but bigger cows are also drinking the milk of the cow. Normally, the bigger cows don't drink, and only the calves drink. And so much of love between the calf and the cow, and also the gopas and gopis, they are loving their sons and children like anything. And what is happening? So he understood, and he looked at Krishna. Krishna is like, I didn't do anything. And then Balram is the first expansion. He could understand that was all Krishna. So again, Krishna expanded, and Brahma was also got bewildered. Okay, another example. What about, and there's also called as Rasa Leela, where Krishna was dancing with every gopis. Every gopi thought Krishna is dancing. It means like every two gopis, Krishna was in the middle. And so that they don't get confused. When you dance, you feel like Krishna is with you and Krishna is with other gopis. So Krishna expanded and in different forms. So he can expand in different innumerable forms. So quote from Smriti Shastra says, Vishnu is one, and yet he is certainly all-pervading. By his inconceivable potency, in spite of his one form, he is present everywhere, as the sun appears in many places at once. So sun is one, but it can be seen in different places, the sunshine. Or else, if there is a river, there is a sea, there is a pond, there is a reflection of the sun, but sun is one. So the Lord is one, but then he can take different forms, but not like us. If we are in the office, we are in the office. We are at home, we are at home. But then Krishna is not like that. He can be there in all the places at the same time. But the bhav is different. In Goloka, Krishna is worshipped in different way. In Vrindavan and Dwaraka, it's different way. So each places, the bhav of worship is different, right? And next sloka says about how a Krishna conscious person is the best philanthropist. 52. Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati yo arjuna sukham vayati va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. A Krishna conscious person is a perfect yogi because aware of real cause of happiness and distress by dint of his personal experience. The cause of distress is forgetfulness of the relationship with Krishna. That's the only cause of distress. Because Krishna buliya jiva bhogavanja kare, right? Because we are forgetting Krishna, we suffer. The cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer, proprietor, and sincere friend. Which sloka is this? Which is the sloka? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Adish.
Bhaktaram yagna tapasa sarvaloka maheshwara suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti vrachati 5.29.
Very well. Very nice. Yes, that's the peace formula. Bhoktaram Ichchatabasam Sarvalokha Mahesh. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor, and a well-wishing friend. Okay, we know this. That's called the peace formula. Good. So Krishna conscious person is the first best philanthropist and dearest servant of the Lord because he tries to broadcast the importance of Krishna consciousness. Whatever risk he takes, he preaches Krishna consciousness, right? So that means he is the best well-wisher of the Lord. And it says, Nacha tasmat manisheshu kashin me priyatamaha pavita nacha me tasmat anya priyo taro bhuvi. So Krishna says, there's no one more dear to me than who preach this message. So he is the best yogi because he did not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but tries for others also. This differentiates a pure devotee from a yogi only interested in personal salvation. Necessity of controlling the mind is the next slokas. The chapter 6, 33 to 36 sloka is about controlling the mind. So after hearing the description of various Ashtanga yoga practice, Arjuna analyzes his inability to follow the process. It's like, I can't. Okay. So before going to the verses, I would like you to just go through the purports. Okay, 33, 34, 35, 3 purports. And you have to summarize the impracticality of Ashtanga yoga for this modern age. So last week, one devotee came to temple, was chanting 16 rounds very sincerely. Then we all were so happy to see. And then I was about to go, just saw the devotee sitting in meditation inside the temple room. And some senior devotees came and said, what are they doing? They did the best yogic process, that is mantra meditation. And now they are falling down to meditation, which is like the Brahman, or might be in the chakra, or whatever, it's the air, breathing. So is it impracticality in the sense, it may be practical for some, but not for all. Now, if there is a rule by the government, everyone should be able to follow it. Then that's what the rule is. If some are not able to follow, that's not rule. So so it's a prescribed. So how do you think the Ashtanga yoga for the modern age, in the sense in Kali Yuga, it's impractical? You have to refer from verse 33, 34, 35 verses and purport. This is a preaching application, not personal. You can add personal also into it. Okay, some of your personal experience can also be added so that it looks good. So you understood 33? You want the question in the chat, or you just understand 33 to 35? 33, 34, 35. Just read through the purports and verse and then see how it's practical in this modern age. Okay, just quickly for 10 minutes, you can come back after that. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's start with
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Which room? Room number 4.
Yes, Mataji.
Swami Ganesh Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, we discussed a little bit about 6.33, 6.34, and 35. And we came to understood from the purport that in the age of Kali, even 5,000 years back, it was very difficult to go to practice, go to secluded places, and it was impossible. And in this age of Kali, it is very, very difficult because we cannot go leave all this, our busy schedule and the family affairs and go to a secluded place, and it is very impossible to perform. So because, and the lifetime is also very short.
Yeah.
So it is impossible to, and according to 6.34, the mind is very strong. Sometimes it overcomes the intelligence also. So it is very difficult to control the mind because it is, as it is very difficult to control the turbulent wind, it is also very, very difficult to control the wavering mind. As Arjuna also previously said to Krishna, no, that Krishna, it is easy for me to control the wind, but it is not easy for me to control the mind. So when Arjuna faces that situation, it is very difficult for us to, as being in this busy age, to control the mind. And so this is what we understood from it. And also what I would like to say is, sometimes the medicine, the acute, even the medicine, like the medicine, the infection, sometimes when the infection is so strong, it takes over the medicine. It passes the medicine like that. When the mind is so infected, it takes over the intelligence. Hare Krishna. And according to 6.35, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Mataji. Can I?
Prabhu, we'll give chance to one more room.
Yeah.
Room number 2 are Arti Mataji, Adish Prabhu, Shri Mataji, Rajshri Mataji, and Suma Mataji. You ready? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
And in according to this 33rd verse, Arjuna says, the system of yoga that you have described to me is impracticable and unattainable to me due to restless mind. And Arjuna speaks this verse beginning with the words yo, yam. That means the system of yoga referred to is not practicable for me. The reason is, if we want to control the mind, we have to subdue the senses. Then we have to give up all desires. Focus the mind upon God alone. Think of Him with an unwavering mind. See everyone with equal vision. Arjuna frankly expressed his reservation about what he has heard by saying that it is impracticable, especially in this Kali Yuga. None of the above can be accomplished without controlling the mind. If the mind is restless, then all these aspects of yoga become unattainable as well. And in the 34th verse, Arjuna says the mind is very restless, and as a result, it is very strong and obstinate. And it appears to me that it is very difficult to control than controlling the wind. Arjuna's mind was very troublesome after seeing all the people from in the Kuru dynasty assemble on the battle of Kurukshetra. He felt compassion for these people and he did not want to kill any of them. And as a result, the mind is also obstinate because when it catches a harmful thought, it refuses to let go and continues to ruminate over it and again, even to the dismay of the intellect. And as a result, Krishna is addressing the Lord and he is saying that Krishna, since since the mind is even the most powerful and even the powerful minded devotees and Paramatmas also have to work very hard in order to control the obstinate mind. And coming to the 35th verse, we come to understand that if the mind can be brought under control, as Krishna says, And he says, by practicing of Krishna consciousness, one can engage in 9 types of devotional service to the Lord. And the first and foremost,
Mataji, instead of reading from the purport, can you just put it in your own words? That's what I want. I feel like it's just copy pasted from the purport. See, all this, whatever you're saying, it's directly from the purport. Now, that's not what I expect. Whatever you discussed, in your own words, you say. Not like just selecting some sentence from the purport and discussing. Okay, that would be nice if you could do that. Whatever you have discussed in your own words, not like just saying, just selecting some sentence from the purport in the breakout room. What selection, what topic has been discussed in the breakout room, you put it in your own words. Okay, instead of reading through the purports. That's what I felt would be good. We'll take one more from room number 3. Santosh Prabhu, Sharmila Mataji, Sunita Mataji, Akshay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Arjuna being a devotee and he being a very practical man, despite of having all the better facilities than we do have, he himself found it very difficult to practice this Ashtanga Yoga. And he says, and it is not generally mentioned, advised for the age of Kali, because in Kali Yuga, the Dharma Yuga is chanting. And the Krishna consciousness is the best way to perform. And as Arjuna says, it is very difficult. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. So as he says that it is very difficult to control the mind. It is being flickering. The mind is very flickering. So it's very difficult to control the mind. And he says, and in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult for us to practice because there are so many rules and regulations are there. Like we have to get a secluded place. We have to sit in a secluded place and follow all the rules and regulations properly. So this is not possible in the age of Kali, modern age. We find it very difficult to do. And I myself, being an atheist, I have attended so many meditation classes, Mataji. So where I found it very difficult where to concentrate upon, because I was an atheist and I found it very difficult. And I have attended so many classes of art of living also. At that time also, it was a very failure. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, gradually and eventually, we are able to, at least to some point in, we are able to concentrate our mind, and we are getting that transcendental satisfaction. That is what.
Okay, so you said about the preaching application as well as the personal application. So nice. Okay, so all of you agree. There will be some of you who are doing meditation practice, but then if you're practicing a meditation on the Paramatma feature, that's great. But then, or the Krishna form, the two-handed form, but then meditating on the Brahman, the light, that's Ganeshan Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving me some more time. No, actually, I wanted to share that personal factor also. And previously, I was in another chakra meditation thing, because it was that was impersonal, and I could understand how difficult it was to concentrate on the impersonal thing. And after coming in here, it is really, it has helped me. No, this is much more comfortable chanting the holy name and engaging the mind in all these activities. No, it is much more easier than concentrating on the impersonal factors. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. That's what I want to share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So because those who have come from meditation background, you understand how difficult it was, and now it's easy. So Sukam Kartam Avye. Others, yeah. Yes, Santosh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So as everybody said, just a point to add is, first of all, in this Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to go to secluded place and focus our mind. That is first part. Second is, today yoga means connection, and connection with Krishna. Which that's we have to keep Krishna in center. That itself is missing in today's yoga system, and it has become a more of a physical exercise. Okay, so with that, we cannot connect with Krishna. It is purely by devotional service only we can self-realize and connect with Supreme Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so that's what is so different. It's not, it's impractical. So practical application of this session is Arjuna's rejection of the Ashtanga Yoga path is significant, because Arjuna was thoroughly qualified person from a high parentage. If even he could not follow this religious righteous path, what to speak of people in Kali Yuga? Rayana Alpayusa Sabhya Kala Usmini Yunukechana Manda Sumanda Madhya Manda Bhagavad. That's what Bhagavad explains about Kali Yuga. We accept or not, it's a fact. That Alpayusa, yes, the lifespan is decreasing as someone mentioned. Now also Manda Sumanda Madhyamanda, but very unfortunate, less intelligent people. How do we do it? And who are less qualified in so many ways. Therefore, in this age, the yogic path is not suitable means to transcendental realization. In Kali Yuga, the suitable practice to control the mind is definitely devotional service, starting with chanting the holy name. Detachment comes easily when one is attached to devotional service of Krishna. So again, Arjuna is saying about the yoga practice in 33. Arjuna vaja yo ayam yogastaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalavat sitam stiram. Arjuna said, oh Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized is impracticable and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Right? So he's saying it's impracticable and unendurable in this age because mind is restless and unsteady, very restless. That's why next sloka he says, Chanchalam Himana Krishna. Arjuna rejects what to talk about the modern man, which is capabilities in Kali Yuga. So what is the characteristics of Kali Yuga? There is a bitter struggle for life, short duration. People are not serious about self-realization, even by simple practical means. What to speak about this difficult yoga system, which regulate the mode of living, manner of sitting, selecting a place, secluded place, detachment of the mind, not possible at all. Those who are doing, now you might argue like there are some people who really meditate. Fine, they might be continuing from the previous janmas, or they have done under Ashtanga Yoga in previous life and almost reaching to the Samadhi stage, but not applicable for all. But for example, for a child can participate in devotional service, right? The children's also nowadays chant, and they can take Krishna Prasad, they can dance in the kirtan, go to different pilgrimage places or associate with devotees. So that is devotional service a kid can do. But can kids sit and meditate? It's difficult because their mind is very restless. And Arjuna says it's impractical. And super excellent ability of Arjuna is that he belonged to a royal family. He's a great warrior, Kshatriya. He's having a great longevity. When you compare to Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga, the lifespan was more there. And above all, he was an intimate friend of Lord Krishna, is an eternal associate, right? And he is saying this. Modern imitation yoga schools are thus condemned because they are completely ignorant of the desired goal. As Prabhu said, yoga means connection with God, but then that's completely missing in the present practice. We'll wind up in 5 minutes. It says, Sanjalam himana Krishna pramadi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manyi vayo vasudushkaram. Chanchalam himana Krishna, the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Oh Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it's more difficult than controlling the wind. It's not easy to control the wind, right? Mind is restless and turbulent. For a man in practical world who have to fight so many opposing elements, difficult to control them. We have experienced, all of us, right? Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards friends and enemies, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so, because it's more difficult than controlling a wind. And Prabhupada was giving in that lecture a nice example. You can just think of America and you reach there. And that's the power of the mind. It's more faster. Mind is as strong and obstinate. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind often overcomes one's own intelligence. Just like an acute infection, as Prabhu mentioned, may surpass the efficacy of medicine. A strong mind may overcome one's own intelligence. How much of a dose you give, still it doesn't decrease your fever, right? Sometimes it might surpass. Similarly, the mind may surpass our intelligence. So the only way is to direct it towards Krishna's lotus feet. The analogy is mind as a driving instrument of the chariot. We know how the picture, you remember, the body is compared to a chariot, and the senses are the horses. The mind is the driving instrument. The intelligence is the driver, and the soul is the passenger of the chariot. The easiest ways to control is chanting Hare Krishna. And as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, Trinapatabi Sunichena Karorapi Sanchana Mani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Right? So then it also says, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindiya, how Ambarish Maharaj fixed the mind on Krishna. That's the most practical way. Krishna also says, Sri Bhagavan Vaja, Asamshayam Mahabaho Manadur Dunigraham Achalam Abhyasena to Kaudeya Vairagyena Chagrihyati. Abhyasa means by practice. He agrees, right? He agrees that Blessed Lord said, O mighty son of Kunti, it's undoubtedly very difficult to curb this restless mind, but it is possible for constant practice and by detachment. So what is recommended is the 9 type of devotional service, Shravana, right? The practice of Shravana is the most important practice in hearing. Hearing is the most powerful method for purifying the mind of all misgivings. An effect of hearing is the more one hears, the more one becomes enlightened and get detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. So Bhakti Pareshana Bhava, Virakti Anyat Prasad. So and Virakti will come along with it. So by detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, getting attached to devotional service. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya. Then there is Vairagya. And the impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult, right, than the activities in Krishna. And also he says Pareshana Bhava. Bhakti Pareshana Bhava Virakti Anyasya. Pareshana Bhava means spiritual satisfaction achieved by positive attachment of service. It's practical, right? Because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to Krishna. And the analogy is hungry man is satisfied with the food and he feels satisfaction and nourished. Similarly, devotional service also, right, it gives you so much of happiness and satisfaction. There is no satiation. The more you hear, the more you want. And devotional service compared to curing a disease by process called Krishna consciousness. The expert treatment of a mad mind is hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord and diet, eating Krishna Prasad offered to Krishna. I guess we'll stop here. And we have just 3 more slokas, 47. We'll finish it next week. So you'll have 1 week break if you want on 3rd. So now it's so we have like 20th today. So we have 27th. We'll finish 6th chapter. 3rd, if you want, I can give you a study leave. In the sense, it's Nityananda Trayadashi also. Anyway, there may not be class on 3rd. And 10th, we can have a final exam. I mean the closed book, if that is okay with everyone. And some of you have joined for just module 1. You can go back, join the, I think you already did module 2, no? Shri Mataji, Adish Prabhu, Santosh Prabhu. You already did module 2 with the previous batch.
Mataji, I'd like to continue, Mataji.
Yeah, you can stay. It's nothing like you don't have to stay. But yeah, it's not compulsory for you. You can just, because you already done in the previous batch. Okay, so Santosh Prabhu, you had a question. And Biju Prabhu, no worries, you are traveling and everything. But then if you could cope up with the recordings, really sorry, because the website was hacked and then I lost membership, ownership of their channel. So today I got it back. So I'll make the playlist soon and update. Okay, so that you can just catch up with the sessions. Yes, Prabhu, you had a question? Santosh Prabhu.
No question, Mataji. Just
okay. So everyone agrees. The mind is very restless and unsteady, and the only way to control is devotional service. All of you agree, right? Otherwise it's very difficult. Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, and regarding sloka recitation, Mataji, 10th is exam. Sloka recitation will be
next after that, after Feb 10th.
Okay, fine. Okay, then we have 17th? A lot of okay, 17th. Okay, Mataji. Fine. Then one more question. We have so many open book questions in the PDF that you sent, no, for the
for closed book. Just study the closed book questions, short questions. Might be 5 marks each, 3-4 lines you need to write.
Okay.
And there'll be 10 questions. You just have to write any 8. It'll be
so
like
only,
a Zoom.
So only closed book short will have to be concentrated, because there is another closed book questions also. It is a little descriptive.
Descriptive, don't go through that.
Okay.
No, we don't have time. Just 45 minutes to 1 hour test.
Okay.
So just go through the short questions. Not too short, but just like medium. Even in that long descriptive, you can just might take up 1/2 of it or something. Elaborate answers, questions won't be there. Big ones.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Because the difference between the student's handbook that was given in the initial stage, it had only 2 classifications. One is closed short questions, and the other one is open book essays. So whereas here we have 3, closed book short, we have labeled as CBQ, CBS, CBQ, and open book essays. So there are 3 classifications
short
here.
Ones, you see. Short ones.
Fine. Okay, fine.
And
okay,
for this one, yes, Penaja Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I don't know, Mataji, whether my question is sensible or not, but I want to know more about consciousness.
Consciousness.
Yeah, Mataji. Yeah, then things are above our sense perception that can be perceived through consciousness, but still I want to know practically, Mataji.
So actually there are different levels of consciousness like Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So different consciousness level. So consciousness basically means it's a symptom of the presence of soul. Like only if a soul is present in the body, there's actually the consciousness, there's subconsciousness and all. So some of the people are conscious only of their body. No, they don't know about their next life. They're not bothered their soul, just about life. And as Ramanishra Prabhu says, like Masta Majamadi, something it comes now, just enjoy life. This one life, just enjoy. So that is about Annamaya Kosha. Like the small babies, their consciousness is not developed. They take everything and put in the mouth. So that's Annamaya Kosha. Next is Jivamaya Kosha. You know you're living, little advanced. And Jnanamaya, that is, you know, the mind is thinking, willing, and feeling all that. And Vijnanamaya is, you know, your spirit soul. Next is Anandamaya. Anandamaya means the completely in transcendental happiness of Krishna consciousness. So that is what is needed in mind control. That is, we should reach the Anandamaya consciousness. Okay, so Anandamaya means above all the consciousness level where you feel your spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and you start doing devotional service. So that's how you reach to that level. Okay, so by consciousness, by adding Krishna to your consciousness, that is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada want our consciousness to be centered around Krishna. So, right, instead of body, mind, or any other thing, material things. So, by practicing Krishna consciousness, what happens is we are including Krishna in our consciousness. So, even if you chant 16 rounds for 2 hours, then after some time, what happens? The Hare Krishna mantra keep repeating. Now, sometimes you hear some nice kirtan, the kirtan keeps playing on your mind, background. That's like in a subconscious mind, it is there. Now, some of you get dream of Krishna, some of you can, all that is because of that, it's already in a subconscious mind. So that is what is actually needed.
How to understand things are above our sense perception practically? Because for few people, concept of a God and a God consciousness, what we say, no, it's completely unreachable method. They'll say what you are saying.
That's because their consciousness is not developed. So what we do is, for such people, get some Ajnata Subhuddhi for them, bring them to temple, give them Krishna Prasad, tell them to, they can't read Bhagavad Gita, they can't really understand anything, they can't chant. So give them some Ajnata Subhuddhi. So later on, by some Vaishnava's mercy, they'll get into this field. But then their consciousness is not developed yet. So such people, how much ever we preach, they can't come to this level. Yes, Akshay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. One note, Mataji, regarding the non-veg, except non-veg, which is prohibited in ISKCON consciousness, Mataji?
Mushrooms, they don't have mushrooms, onion, garlic.
Okay. And brinjal?
Yeah, all the other vegetables is allowed. Mushroom, because it's growing in that shabby area.
Fungus and all, yeah.
So it's not allowed. And this one, onion, garlic. Otherwise, all the other vegetables can be used. But some, like in Gaudiya Mart, I heard some don't use roots, like all the carrots and potatoes. But I never said all that things. We can use.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. It's good.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So please keep chanting, and then let's see. Feb 10th, we'll fix it. So by next week, we'll complete chapter 6, and 3rd, Nityanda Trayadashi holiday for you. Then on 10th, we'll have our closed book exam, and 17th, we'll have sloka recitation. Okay. So if that is fine for everyone.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. I hope so. It's fine for me. About others. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Please join the CC class, Chaitanya Chudamar class by Prabhu now, Minister Prabhu, in the temple link. Yes, Chitra Maraji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, that I'll be in the train coming back from Dwaraka on 17th.
When?
17th, we are coming back to Bhopal, Mataji. But in the night.
Yeah. So 10th you are there, no?
10th I'm there. 10th I'm
yeah,
there.
you give sloka on 10th itself. After your close book.
Okay, Mataji.
Just give me the sloka and then you can go.
Okay, I'll do that, Mataji. So that thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Ramashri Mataji Ganesh. Vanchakalpadavasya Kribasindhudevja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Bodhi Vaishnaviti Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.